It's Friday, April 17th, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, Anthropic ships Claude Opus 4.7 as OpenAI turns Codex into a desktop computer use agent. Google finally brings Gemini to the Mac. And Manycore Tech makes history as the first publicly listed spatial intelligence company. Let's get into it.
Anthropic has released Claude Opus 4.7, its most capable generally available model, now live across Claude products, the API, Amazon Bedrock, Google Cloud's Vertex AI, and Microsoft Foundry. The company says the model delivers substantial gains on advanced software engineering, posting 64.3% on SWE Bench Pro and 87.6% on SWE Bench Verified, alongside stronger vision capabilities and more refined creative output for slides and interface design. It supports a 1 million token context window with up to 128,000 output tokens, and pricing holds steady at $5 per million input tokens and $25 per million output tokens. Anthropic also confirmed new automatic safeguards that detect and block high-risk cybersecurity requests.
Next, OpenAI fires back.
OpenAI pushed its most aggressive Codex update yet, a direct shot across the bow at Anthropic's Claude Code. The upgraded Codex desktop app can now operate other Mac applications with its own cursor, clicking, typing, and reading the screen to complete multi-step tasks, and it can run multiple agents in parallel without blocking the user's own work. The release adds native in-app web browsing, image generation through GPT, Image 1.5, a marketplace for installing plugin bundles from GitHub and local repositories, plus richer memory controls and expanded MCP integrations. Computer use is rolling out to paid ChatGPT users first, with enterprise, education, and EU tiers to follow in the coming weeks.
Over to Mountain View.
Google has finally brought Gemini to the Mac as a native application, closing a gap that had left it trailing OpenAI and Anthropic on Apple desktops. The new app is summoned anywhere on the system with an Option plus spacebar shortcut and includes built-in tools for generating images, analyzing what is currently on the user's screen, and reviewing attached files. Launched Thursday, the Mac client delivers Gemini Live for real-time voice conversations, tight integration with Google Workspace documents, and support for the latest Gemini 3.1 Pro model. Analysts say the launch positions Google to compete more directly for power users who had migrated to rivals, and signals a broader push to make Gemini a desktop resident assistant rather than just a browser tab.
Shifting to the cloud wars.
Elon Musk's xAI is turning its Colossus supercomputer into a commercial cloud business, striking a deal to rent tens of thousands of NVIDIA GPUs to coding startup Cursor for the training of its upcoming Composer 2.5 model. At roughly $2.50 to $18 per GPU hour, the arrangement could generate between $15 and $40 million in revenue for xAI from Cursor alone. With more than 200,000 GPUs in its current stockpile and plans for further expansion, xAI is aggressively monetizing compute that was originally built to train Grok, positioning itself as a direct competitor to Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and specialized providers like CoreWeave in the AI cloud market.
From chips to power.
Meta unveiled new details of its capacity efficiency program, an internal AI agent platform that has begun automating the discovery and resolution of performance bottlenecks across the company's global infrastructure. The unified agent framework encodes senior engineering expertise into reusable, composable skills, and Meta reports it has already recovered hundreds of megawatts of power while compressing investigations that previously took hours into minutes. The implication is that Meta can now scale megawatt delivery across Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and emerging AI workloads without proportionally adding engineering headcount. It is the clearest public signal yet of how hyperscalers are quietly using their own AI to cope with the power and compute demands created by the broader AI boom.
Now to Detroit.
Stellantis and Microsoft have signed a 5-year strategic collaboration to accelerate the use of artificial intelligence across the automaker's global operations. The deal pairs Stellantis, the parent of Jeep, Chrysler, Peugeot, and Fiat, with Microsoft's Azure Cloud and AI services to co-develop more than 100 initiatives spanning manufacturing, engineering, cybersecurity, and the in-car user experience. Stellantis will migrate significant portions of its IT infrastructure to Azure, targeting a 60% reduction in its own data center footprint by 2029. The partnership deepens an existing relationship and reflects Detroit's urgency to integrate generative AI into vehicle software stacks as Chinese competitors race ahead on connected car capabilities.
On to San Francisco.
At its Trailblazer DX Developer Conference, Salesforce unveiled what it called the most significant architectural pivot in the company's 25-year history. Salesforce Headless 360, the declaration that every feature of the platform is now exposed as an API, an MCP tool, or a command line interface. The rollout includes Agentforce Vibes 2.0, an AI development environment that understands enterprise metadata and supports both Claude Sonnet and GPT-5. Salesforce also open-sourced its agent script language, added more than 60 new MCP tools, and expanded Agent Exchange into a marketplace of 10,000 Salesforce apps, 2,600 Slack apps, and over 1,000 agents from partners. It is Salesforce's clearest bet yet that SaaS evolves into agentic infrastructure.
Now in corporate M&A.
American Express is acquiring Hyper, a Sam Altman-backed AI startup that automates corporate expense management, in a deal expected to close in the second quarter. Financial terms were not disclosed. Founded in 2022, Hyper builds AI agents that auto-categorize charges, verify submissions against internal budget policies, generate reports, and nudge employees on overdue filings. American Express says Hyper's team will help accelerate its agentic and automated services for commercial clients, a segment where Amex has been racing to match fintech challengers. The transaction slots neatly into a broader pattern of incumbent financial institutions, buying rather than building AI agents, and it gives Hyper's investors, including Altman personally, a clean exit.
Next, production AI.
Resolve AI picked up another $40 million in a Series A extension, lifting the San Francisco company's valuation to $1.5 billion. And its total funding above $190 million, just 18 months after emerging from stealth. DST Global and Salesforce Ventures led the round. Resolve's platform uses AI agents to diagnose and auto-remediate issues in production software environments, and it already counts Coinbase, DoorDash, MSKI, Salesforce, and Zscaler among paying customers. Alongside the financing, the company launched Resolve AI Labs, a research arm focused on building domain-specific models for operating complex production systems. The message to the market: AI is moving out of the chat window and into the on-call rotation.
Staying in fintech.
Wealth.com closed a $65 million Series B on Thursday, led by Charles Schwab with participation from GV, Citi Ventures, Titanium Ventures, and Dynasty Financial Partners. The startup pairs estate planning with tax planning in a single AI-powered workbench for financial advisors, and it says AI-assisted workflows on its platform jumped 664% year-over-year. Schwab's leadership of the round tightens an existing distribution partnership and signals that the largest retail broker in the United States sees domain-specific AI as central to the next wave of wealth management. The new capital will fund expansion of the company's advisor footprint, which already reaches more than 50,000 professionals across the country.
Moving to observability.
InsightFinder. AI raised $15 million in a new funding round led by Galaxy, bringing total funding to $35 million as the North Carolina company targets the rapidly growing market for AI agent observability. Founded by Chief Executive Helen Gu, a professor at North Carolina State and a former IBM and Google engineer, InsightFinder built its original machine learning platform to detect and fix enterprise IT issues back in 2016. Its new product, Autonomous Reliability Insights, monitors AI agents, diagnoses failures, and remediates incidents before they reach users. Customers already include UBS, NBC Universal, Lenovo, Dell, Google Cloud, and Comcast, a roster that suggests the AI agent reliability problem has already arrived inside the Fortune 500.
And finally, to Hong Kong.
Hangzhou-based Manycore Tech made its debut on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange this morning under ticker 00068, becoming the world's first publicly listed spatial intelligence company. The firm raised roughly $130 million in its offering and opened sharply higher, a strong vote of confidence in Chinese AI startups from global public markets. Manycore runs China's largest cloud-native spatial design platform and is now pivoting to sell three-dimensional training data to humanoid robot makers through partnerships with LiDAR company Hesai and Taikang Life. The company reported an adjusted net profit of roughly $8 million last year at an 82% gross margin, a rare combination in today's AI economy.
That's your briefing for Friday, April 17th, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.